Oh, you're home then. What were you off doing this whole time, other than failing utterly as a provider for your children? Your own kids like me more than you now, because they know you're the reason they can't have nice things. You're a failure at work, and you're a failure at home. Is there any reason in particular why you haven't ended it like your ex-wife did after spending years around you? So what took you so long at work? I know you aren't aware of what overtime is, so it's unlikely you were working. You're after that new coworker, aren't you? You should just give up. No cute young girls want anything to do with you. A mole-covered man with nasty breath and a lifelong membership to the hair club for men? You're absolutely pathetic for holding any hope that another human being would want to be anywhere around you for any length of time, especially a woman. I mean, look at you. That microscopic, slime-covered cock couldn't attract anything but rats and the plague. You yourself look like a giant chode. Did you know that whenever the school calls to ask you something, they always call me afterwards to make sure you didn't fuck it up? That's how useless you are. They can't even be certain you would deliver a message to someone responsible in your general vicinity. Remember when you thought you taught your son how to play catch? I phrase it that way because he was shown by a competent individual before you idiotically thought your autistic stumbling and fumbling of the ball was even the slightest bit more helpful. People who are denied military service due to their IQ are more successful at the most basic things than you. When I say you're worthless and pathetic, I don't do it to be mean. I'm just trying to be honest. I mean, I'm the world's most trusted authority on that type of man. Experience gained from spending ridiculous amounts of time with you. In fact, it's mostly like kidnapping. I'd even say that every time we've had sex, it's essentially been rape. You're an awful man for what you've done to me. Perhaps it wouldn't have been so bad if you were even slightly capable of causing me some sexual pleasure. But sleeping with you is only slightly more enjoyable than being mauled by a bear. I haven't had one single orgasm since you kidnapped me. I can't even get off by myself because when I try, I get PTSD flashbacks to the last time I saw you naked. And it all ends in tears and a cold sweat. Hey, so that was pretty rough. And this is supposed to be a parody. And we're going to do exactly what we did last time. And I'm going to tell you a story from Colin's youth. When Colin was still finishing high school, he had this odd hobby of breaking into abandoned buildings. He was delusional in his belief that he would become a spy, and he liked to sneak around and be in places he didn't belong. He would bring his friend with him, and they would play these airsoft games of capture the flag, using a backpack with spare ammo and a time limit to retrieve it. Sometimes they would use point-blank disarming exercises, and then oftentimes, after the games, they would finish with a manhunt. This particular facility was perfect for this type of game, as it had many hallways, nooks, crannies, multiple throughways, and certain areas had dead ends. Plus, it was always dark. So you had to get creative and try to outsmart your opponent. Colin's friend was a large man, nearly twice his size by all measures. He would likely not mind me using his name, but we'll call him Steve. On one occasion, capture the backpack turned into quite an epic ordeal. Colin quickly took control of the backpack as he usually did first because of Steve's size. At that point, Colin ran into a location that was a dead end. However, he wasn't seen and was able to lock the entryway with a leather belt. When he reloaded, he unlocked the door to begin the hunt. It's no fun if the prey is stationary. This is when the building becomes a circus. As Colin exits the area he was in, he spots a flashlight beam and decides to play it safe. Waiting for a while, then peeking to see the flashlight was stuck into a wall to confuse him. It was not long after that Steve falls from one of those foam false ceilings, not unlike the guy in the meme. You know, hey Ron, hey Billy. Since Steve is okay, Colin snagged the bag and flashlight, setting them up into the room he had previously locked as a trap, all while trying to contain his laughter after watching his very large friend fall from the ceiling like a rejected audition for Die Hard. After he set the trap, he ran to the help desk to hide and wait. It was on the other side of the hallway from the room the bag is in. As he waited, he noticed a fire extinguisher and thought, how cool, I can use this as a smoke grenade. Colin heard Steve enter the room and ran around the wall and unleashed the full unfettered power of this long since serviced fire extinguisher. It worked. And after a few moments, Steve emerged from the smoke with his hands up. That was the day Colin learned that fire extinguishers work by removing oxygen. And all for the sake of taking a game a little too seriously, he nearly murdered Steve. Let that be a lesson to those of you who get in his way. Thanks for watching Nonsense Entertainment. If you're interested in doing voiceover work, want a cuddly friend, or are interested in co-hosting something, reach out to us at nonsense.e.t@gmail.com. Make sure to subscribe because a brand new podcast called Because I Said So is coming out featuring me. You can be the first to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all of your buddies. And make me famous. Thanks.